It's time. It's Giammi time. Gene, I thought you gave me 2 bottles of water.
I did.
Where they at?
Come here.
Where's the bottle at?
Gene, come here.
Oh, it's time for Giammi Journey, family. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. We are up. We are live. Lines are open. Give y'all time to get on in. Gather around, brothers and sisters. For it is time for glory.
Peace, this is Brother Hatim, and you have joined us in Giammi Journey Radio. Be sure to check out our site and subscribe at tribe.giammijourney.com.
All my brothers and sisters, hold hands and bow your heads. Let us pray. God standeth in the congregation of the mighty. He judgeth amongst the gods. How long will you judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? I say, defend the poor and the fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and the needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of court. I have said, ye are God, and all of you are children of the Most High. But you shall die like men, and fall like one of the princes. Arise, O God, judge the earth. Thou shalt inherit all nations.
God to send out the
Allahu Akbar.
Too late!
This is Kabara Franks, and you are now listening to the Giammi Journey Radio.
Keep up with the journey. Check out what we have done in the past. Go to journeyarchives.com.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Giammi Journey Radio.
Be sure to follow Giammi Journey on Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. Check us out. Join the journey.
This is Adam Sheik, aka Ace, live from Shisha Lounge, and you are now listening to Giammi Journey Radio.
You are now listening to Giammi Journey Radio with Monica. Enjoy.
This is Marina, and this is Giammi Journey Radio.
This is Willie. Welcome to Giammi Journey Radio. I want to give shout out to Silver Kevin, all my Silver Nation out there. I want to give shout out to my mom. I give shout out my dad for raising me and my family for being around me. And I want to give shout out to the people of my generation that's trying to do something big.
And you're listening to Giammi Journey Radio.
Peace, Hotep. It's Mansour Hotep, aka Mr. Deity. Mr. Deity doesn't sound good. I think it sounds great. Right now, you're listening to Giammi Journey Radio.
If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim,
You don't deserve to carry his name. This is what Journey Radio. Shouts out to the Gianni tribe, Gianni family. Stand up. Peace. If you're not adding anything to the culture that you claim, you don't deserve to carry his name. This is Brother Hatem coming at you live, and you are now listening to the Gianni Journey Radio. Shouts out to Gianni tribe, Gianni family. Stand up. You are now listening to Gianni Journey Radio. Peace. This is Gina. And you are now
you listen to my daddy.
on Gianni
Journey
Radio. Peace.
Man, y'all heard it. I have had enough. Alright, so I'm posting up the folktale on, I don't do no damn emojis. I ain't doing emoji. It's an emoji on there. So if anybody wants the folktale but they ain't got it right in front of them, I have posted up a link for the folktale. I'm also posting up a link for those that want to participate in the mall that we got coming up. Also, I like to call it the market, you know what I'm saying? But the family wanted to call it the mall, so that's what it's going to be. We're going to have a movie night. On that night, we're going to be watching The Purge, the beginning, and having a conversation about it, because I am told that I will be shocked at some of the similarities of to life that's going to be popping off in that movie. So I'm looking forward to that. So we'll be having that movie from 3 to about 6 until the conversation is over. You'll be able to get there. You'll be able to come shopping, because we're going to have vendors up in the place. We're going to have Sister CeeLo. She's going to be doing the demonstration for the African Heritage Diet, which y'all hear me talk about a lot as an important aspect of one of the pillars for our health. Pillar 1, proper breathing. Pillar 2, drink plenty of good and real water. 3, eating a culturally appropriate diet, and that's the one she's going to focus on. And 4, culturally appropriate movements, right? So culturally appropriate diet, what is that? Every people were designed to eat certain things and stay away from certain things, or not eat as much of certain things. I know some of y'all, some of us, we hooked in on some of these diets. I'm just saying, family, add some African elements to your diets, some oil, some nuts, some different vegetables. Sister CeeLo is going to demonstrate on some cooking, and I think we're going to get back into some exploring some health ideas once again, like we did at the beginning of Gianni Journey. So the lines are open. Call in line 614-556-4535. For anybody that want to join the conversation, of course, you know it's open line, so feel free. Need your help with the interpretation of this powerful folktale that we have popping off tonight. I think it's going to generate some powerful discussions because it's so basic, it's so simple, it's so straightforward that I think that you will be able to use this proverb or this folktale to look at many aspects of your personal life as well as our community life. Once again, I wanted to make sure that everybody know a lot of the people that I listen to on YouTube have been marginalized, including eventually Giammi Journey. There is an attack, as some of y'all saw earlier this week with us. We had some unfriendly visitors, you know what I'm saying? Some wannabes that interfered with the show, far as, you know, white boys or bots. Because when I went to track down who and where they was from, the time or the pages were empty, of course. Really no history on them, other than just being on my timeline. Then I went back to look for some of the comments that were gone. It was one on stream.me that really got crazy. I left him with some parting words and let him go. You know, and that's, you know, that's you need to expect that type of thing. But now the attacks are coming from the old media arm of this thing, of this white supremacy. Oftentimes y'all see me post up stuff from Yvette Cornell on my timeline, as well as Tone Talks, Professor Black Truth every now and then, Jason Black, the Black Authority. I post up their stuff. Tariq get kind of raw for me. I mean, even for me, I listened to one of Tariq's shows yesterday, and I said I can't repost this because he had a real good show. The show was fantastic. He had Professor Black Truth on there. He had Jason Black on there. And right after he got them off, he got raw and went right into just roasting somebody. I'm like, I had to turn it off. I said, man, I mean, it was a magnificent show all the way up into that. But what was going on is that they are labeling people who claim the title of DOS, American DOS, descendants of slaves. People that use the hashtag are being labeled as bots, which in a sense kind of isolates and makes it a little bit harder to receive the message, because nowadays with some of these bots, supposedly you can't tell whether they're real or not. But you know, like I said, it wasn't that hard for me to figure out that the individuals that was on my timeline, except for stream.me, unless that was a really, really programmed bot, and if it was, I am quite humbled that somebody would have took the time to develop something that was able to respond with that many insults in that short of a time. But it's being marginalized by members of the black media. Media is just another arm of
this call is being recorded.
White supremacy. Is the media is an arm of the enemy that we battle, and they are labeling them as bots to marginalize them and to kind of cut the message, because what happened was that when Kamala Harris announced that she was running, they got on it immediately, breaking down her history, breaking down her prosecution record, breaking down the fact of her sending police to basically arrest mothers supposedly for truancy of their children, and they got on it. Got on questioning where she was from, who she was, and why she was claiming DOS status indirectly. And they put it on her. They put it on her so bad that they were labeled. And then you get people coming out with these things like, y'all too black. You know what I'm saying? A person can't be a president for just black people. And the piece that people have to understand is that we understand this. We're not asking somebody just to be a president for black people. What the calls for now is for people to have us and have our agenda in hand. Have our agenda in hand. The time for us to allow people to squeak on by, regardless of whether they white or black. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of whether what ethnic group they come from or what nationality they claim. The time for us just letting people walk through us, and we just, in charity, give you my vote because you like me. In charity, give you my vote because you belong to a certain party or the people that I roll with to give our vote away. Is no longer doing that shit. Because the thing that we have learned over time, you know what I'm saying, over time, is that if you are not speaking about our agenda is not on the table. So people will say things like, well, they can't come right out and talk about that. I talked about this morning. We got people right now who are more concerned about winning rather than forcing the discussion on the table. The goal is to get the discussion on the table. And what is the black agenda? First and primary, there has to be reparations. And then listen, it needs to be part of the agenda. A real talk. Tone talked and put in some good work. Yvette Cornell done put in some good work. We got other people that done put in some good work and got the numbers. You know what I'm saying? Got how to handle it. And now what I want y'all to understand, because what's going to be happening in the next couple of months is that whole concept is going to be hijacked. And eventually, and this is the next move, it's going to be hijacked, and it's going to include everybody. We got to stop doing that, black folks. We got to become politically selfish. You know what I'm saying? I heard it put best today by Professor Black Truth. Groups do not have friends, they have interest. If we are serious about lasting into the 21st century here, we have to start putting our issues on the table. Number one being reparations. Number two is dismantling the police state that we are living in. Now, like I said, I don't have to come with a solution. All I got to come with is the shit I need you to talk about as a politician, because this is what every other group does. And we have the right to do it and not feel guilty about doing that. All right, so somebody's on the line. I don't want to take too much away from the show and talking about that. His brother Quasi, and Quasi he might be reporting live from a protest that I seen him proudly participating in yesterday. You want to tell them about that, or you got something else you want to open up with?
Nah, that's definitely what I mean. Everything you were just talking about, Todd, can you hear me? Mm-hmm. Okay, just making sure. Everything you were just talking about ties right in because, you know, you the one that taught me that the politics is really just protecting the money. It's ultimately about the money.
Oh, man.
So.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that protest didn't go tonight. It didn't go tonight. We didn't, you know, we didn't have the manpower. I must report that we did not succeed in our mission tonight.
Oh.
We did not have the manpower to make us successful. I mean, we turned a couple people away, but ultimately the store stayed open and they kept making money.
All right. So what happened is you ran into the I did something syndrome, now I can chill. The I did something syndrome, so now I can chill. Right? And then on top of that, you also ran up into the fact that many black folks are out here struggling to survive. They had to be at work. You understand what I'm saying? And I understand. So now what we have to do is we have to come up with another strategy. And I'll be glad to sit down with you and we could discuss that, or we can discuss part of that. One, because I already know the folktale is going to pop that shit wide open when we really start discussing it. So I'm not even concerned about it. Your solution will come on the show tonight. You know, look, I am glad that you picked up on that. I'm going to tell people what's going on, tell people about the store. We could continue posting up because one of the things that we also could use this as is an evaluation tool for how far we can actually reach with social media on these stores. And another piece that you got to understand too, and I don't think, because I noticed this, because I be going to those stores. So I stopped at one store, and I just happened to run into a dude that's very familiar, and I was asking him some questions. And this store was on the east side, on Main and right across the street from that Church's Chicken. That ain't the one y'all protesting, is it?
Nah, you talking about Miller and Kelton?
No, it's Main Street. It's Main. I'm trying to.
Yeah, Main down there by Miller and Kelton. The store. I mean.
Yeah.
I think it got to be.
But it's right on the corner. It's on Main Street.
Which one is Kelton?
But the whole point, the point I'm trying to make is that the dude that was working there, when I came out east 3 days later, I walked into the store and I kept looking at him. I said, "Excuse me, dude. You work at, I could have swore I just saw you somewhere else. You got a brother or something?" He said, no, that's me. I remember you from this. So they be switching. They'll take one individual out of one store. All these stores are connected. All of them.
And they already know that ultimately they know how niggas is. You see what I'm saying? Right. They know that it's going to be friction between somebody. Look, you stay at the store too long, you probably going to get shot at. You're going to have to shoot somebody. You're going to get punched in the face if you're lucky. You know what I mean? So they know they got to keep that rotation moving, and they gave us they fed us the whole thing. So can I go ahead and jump into the story about what happened?
Oh yeah, go ahead, hit it now, hit it. You know how you got to just jump in. You already know how we do it on the journey. But go ahead.
So I was on Facebook, man, spending wasting a little bit of time sometimes, just on there scrolling, and then I seen a video of a brother that was in the store calling out the store dude, and I'm listening, so I got to listening. I had to hit the unmute because it was like a heated conversation. It would be just muted when it's going down the thing. So he was saying something about a family member of his that, and actually he on the line. So I don't want to tell his story too much. I just want to tell how I came across the story. You know, he's saying about how he was unhappy about how his family member, his young underage family member, was approached by the store dude. So I got on there and I made a couple phone calls or looked through a couple things and sent a couple Facebook Messenger, and then finally confirmed. Might need to go on mute. I'm
gonna mute him until you get done. Caller that just called in, hold on. I'll bring you on in a second.
Years and years.
Go ahead, Quasi.
So yeah, I'm pretty sure that's him right there. So you know what I mean? I ended up getting in touch with him, and we went to the store. And last night we was able to shut the store down, but today we didn't get have as much success. But I told the brother I wanted to get him on here so he could tell his story, because I think that it's important to be heard. So I kind of want to introduce you. You introduced me one way, but I know I use the alias as well. So I won't want to blow your spot up. So if you don't mind, just get on here and go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the listeners what your experience is like and what happened.
Yeah, what's up? Do y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
You got some background noise. Can you turn the background noise down?
Or is that better?
Yes, sir. All right, bro. Welcome to the journey. What's going on?
What's up? My name, I go by Black. I want to tell my story about what happened, on the video in the store. Y'all with me?
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
All right, yeah. Okay, so basically, what was it? Saturday night, my wife's 14-year-old sister went into the corner store on Main and Wine. It's called the Food Mart at 3351 East Main Street in Columbus. She went in the store to buy some snacks and chips, the things that 14-year-old kids do.
Right.
They with candy and stuff like that. So she bought the candy. Her mom's outside in the car waiting for her to come out. So she's in there. The store clerk tells her when you ring her up, he tell her, you could take my number, right? And she asked him, she said, what? He said, you could take my number, just don't tell anyone. So she just looked at him, and then she just left her stuff on the counter. She walked out. She wouldn't have told her mom. So her mom then, in turn, had her call my wife so she could get in touch with me. I wasn't here at the time, but my wife had called me, told me the story. I'm like, I'm going to go out there right now. She's like, no, don't go out there because the police are already up there for something else. So I'm going to go out there tomorrow, and we're going to find who this is, and we're going to get to the bottom. But during the night, as I'm thinking, I'm like, why is he trying to give her his number and tell her not to tell no one, So I was kind of amped, like I can't wait to go in there and see him. And I know you work evenings, so I decided to wait until after 2 o'clock because everybody said he'll be there after 2 o'clock. So I'll go in there, take my wife's phone. There was a guy standing outside. I FaceTimed her. I said, is this him? She said, no. So I went inside. I said, this him? She said, yeah. Identified him. I then in turn gave my wife her phone back, grabbed my phone, went in there recording just to see what he would say, because in my head I'm already thinking there's something going on for him to tell a little black kid. I mean, it don't matter what race it is, but for him to tell a little kid not to tell their parents when you're in a community, when you have a store in a community where these kids already fear enough, where we already have enough fears, and they don't trust a lot of authority figures, so we already have a lot of kids not telling what's going on, so we don't really know what's going on. So, and they feed off that. I feel like he fed off that just as pedophiles and predators do. Mm-hmm. He fed off the fear. They feed off the fear of our children because our children are scared to come to us about things because we have a lot that we deal with. So all the time, a lot of times we don't listen to what our kids have to say, or we'll hear it and we'll brush them off, especially in impoverished communities. A lot of people are dealing with trying to come up with rent, come up with bills, so it's a lot of times we don't get the side of the story from the kid. But when I went in there, I didn't expect him to admit it so fast, and then for him to keep apologizing, it made me mad. Like, what I'm saying? Like, why you keep apologizing? You only apologize because you got caught, and then another thing about him saying, I'm sorry. He didn't even know which child I'm talking about. So could you imagine how many kids he has done it for? If any kid in that community that's missing, could he be responsible in any way for that? We have to really investigate because that's really a possibility, and it's something that we don't look at. He really, it's something up with him, but it's not just him is what I'm trying to, I want people to understand. It's not just him. It doesn't stop there. It starts there, but it doesn't stop there. It's really a problem we have to address. It's already so many kids missing. I'm tired of getting on Facebook seeing this kid missing, that kid missing, and we feel like, where are they going? Who's taking our children left and right? The thing I was trying to explain tonight, I said, when you have 80,000 children abducted by a stranger, these aren't children abducted by their parents. These aren't children missing. These are kids taken from their families with force. You know, it's really a problem. Every day, 200 kids going missing. And then you got people with the opportunity to take your kid without a trace, for your kid to go in the store to buy some chips and some candy, and you'll never hear from your kid again, and you don't know what happened. You go in a corner store, buy whatever you buy, talk to the guy behind the counter and tell him your problems because you trust him because he has business in your neighborhood, and he could be responsible for it. You know, that's really it. That's really something that needs to be addressed. We have to think about it.
Oh, yeah, and it's like he's now, because one of the things I was telling Quasi is that they be switching them dudes out. So that dude that was on that side of town with that heat probably didn't come in there today, but they're going to make sure he's working on the west side.
Right, and that's... Go ahead, man.
I mean, I'm just saying, because that's part of the issue, because one of the issues that we got to always realize, especially when we're dealing with these corner stores and with businesses that's outside of us, people that are outside of us, they are predators on us, not economically, physically, socially. They because we're an easy target. We're a poor target. They set up these stores and they're able to give some of these little girls or even little boys extra candy and they're in a perfect position to set up your child with bait. Something so that, you know, okay, I'm gonna chill with you for 2 weeks and not tell nobody, because some of these little girls will run off. You know what I'm saying, or whatever, and then they pop if they pop back up, because not only are these stores connected locally, they're connected statewide, if not nationally.
Nationally, exactly.
So your child could be in New Mexico. You know what I'm saying? One of their friends could be going to New Mexico to start a new life with a new young wife or a new young hostage, because one of the things that I learned by dealing with Islam, that there was the Arab slave trade is much older than the European slave trade. So we got to understand that you got one slave master combating with another slave master, and all of them are taking advantage of us.
Right, exactly. And that's a lot, and a lot of times that's what goes on. Like, I mean, I know people that my wife went to school with that married a Arab and flown over to their country and back. You know, they did that willingly, but they do that. You know, they target our black women.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, with the women, they could willingly do that. With the children, they're not willing to do that. So how do you get them? You force them. You find a way to. You find there has to be there has to be more to the story than what we see. You know, there has to be more than what we know. And there's people that hide in plain sight every day that we don't think. And those are they're the people, basically. Like, when you think of people who are going to kidnap the children, you never think the person in the store. We never think that. You know, you never think the person you see every day could kidnap your child. And these people could kidnap your child. And the scary part of it is they have connections to other countries, like easy connections.
Right.
They ship them over there. You know, organs are being harvested every day. You know, it's not even just about, I mean, that's still trafficking, but it's not just about sex trafficking. It's, you know, body parts and...
Oh, yeah. Dude.
They go for a high amount. And if you know something, if you really need it and you know a way, see, if these people, they're getting money to start up stores and do all that. They get money from our government, but they also get money from other places. You know, if somebody say, bring me a child over here and I'll give you $100,000 because someone's paying $1 million because they want that heart. That heart's worth $1 million to them. Their kid's going to die without it. And they ain't got time to wait on no list. So why wouldn't you give somebody $1 million and then somebody in turn get 100,000? You know, you could split $1 million 10 ways. And if you got 10 people in the same boat, it's not hard to get something done. You know, it's so many stores in our country, it's ridiculous. So even if one store every year did something like that, that's too much, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we want We don't want none of that happening, but it could be possibly way more than that. You know, I'm saying it could be. We don't know. It could be one a day. It's just something that we have to investigate. I'm not saying that that's what it is. You know, because anything that's not proven is a legend. You know, so I'm not saying that's what it is, but I'm saying we should look into it, just as we look into anything else. You know, anything else we feel is not right, we look into it. You know, a lot of people don't want to go against, even being out there protesting, a lot of them don't want to go against the stores because it's a convenience store, it's convenient to them. You know, they like their convenience. Lady yesterday told us, we told her not to shop at the store because they try to abduct, we told her they try to talk to a 14-year-old girl, and you know, girls are being abducted and everything else in this country, so you got to be aware. The lady's response was, oh, well, it's not my daughter, you know, and it's sad to see a black woman say that because it could be a daughter.
Now,
and it would be a daughter. And if it was a daughter, we'd be out here the same way. You know what I'm saying?
If we knew, because these store owners are in a perfect situation to groom individuals, because some of this shit could take place over months. If a child is going to a store on a regular basis and you allow that child to go there by themselves, you don't know what's happening when they go in there and purchase that. You see what I'm saying? I give you extra candy. Oh, he like me. He friendly. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? So you're right. We have to watch and we have to protect our children. But another issue that we have to really look at is because I'm telling Quasi this a lot of times because I talk about tribe building and circling the wagons, because things like this allow you to see who really on your team, who really in your tribe, because it's gonna come a time where that same woman that said, so what, it wasn't my daughter. All right, cool, man, go on, enjoy yourself. See, because we don't need to argue with that. We need to go across the line. Boom.
Most definitely. We didn't argue with it.
And take a picture in your mind. If not, just take a picture, because it's gonna come a time where these people will need somebody. And one of the issues that we have in our community is that we're open to help everybody because they look like us. But one of the things that I have come to terms with, and I still struggle with, is just because you look like us doesn't mean you are us. Because some of these dudes that's up in these stores kind of look like us, but they're not really us. You understand? Some of the people.
There's a lot of people that's us from the same community. I think that's something that's kind of the saddest part and all the most disheartening part is that it's a lot of people that grew up in our same neighborhood. And matter of fact, before I go any farther, I just thought about it. But you know somebody named Calico?
Who, me?
Black.
It sounds familiar.
Do you play basketball?
Nah.
Okay, I might have had you mistaken with somebody else. But anyways, I was actually saying that just to kind of make the point that our community is small, man. It's like he was saying, how that lady, it's a good chance that she one day might need the community to support her, and it's a good chance.
She's going to need.
If you ask all your peoples and she asks her peoples, y'all's peoples, our peoples know each other somewhere, because Columbus is not that damn big. The hood is not that big. You know what I'm saying? So, So ultimately, the reason we was able to shut that shit down yesterday was because people came out. It wasn't even that many. How many people was it out there? It wasn't 20.
Nah, it was
less than 20 people, right?
Yeah, less than 20.
So then today it was I think it was a total of 5 or 6 of us that came out.
Now. Go ahead, bro.
No, I was just going to say the store is still open. When we left, it was open. We turned a couple people away. But I just wanted to say to you, man, because as you see, man, this is something that I've been fortunate enough to have met Hatem. It's been about 10 years now since I met Hatem, and he pulled me right in, and I kind of hit the ground running, and I got into the fight a while ago. So I done learned some shit, but one of the main things I done peeped, man, I'm actually just now coming back. Me and Hatem stay in touch, but as far as me getting out there doing something like that, I haven't done nothing like that in a good 5, 6, 7 years, because the shit broke my heart, bro. I got to be real with you, man. The shit fucking broke my heart, man. Just like dealing with people and people like giving up, and you know what I'm saying. Just a lot of situations, man. It's some real shit, man. So as you just got a chance to see, like that energy, how quickly it come in. For it to continue, it's hard fucking work, man. It's daily effort, daily grind.
Because
it's like the behind the scenes. This right here is just one thing, but even after all the shit that's gonna happen, that have to happen, ain't gonna happen on this phone call. We gonna have to meet, like in person.
Yeah, we gotta get together,
you know what I'm saying?
And keep going up there, because that's what I was talking
about.
Nah,
see, that's the thing. It's not even going up there. The next time we go up there, we would have had to meet each other about 3 or 4 times and come up with a strategy.
Yeah,
that's if we just keep going up there, they gonna just start calling the police, and we gonna just be.
But that's my point. Yeah, I don't want to just go up there just without a strategy or without a plan. I want to actually organize something to get a lot of people together and really show them. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't take it seriously. They don't take it seriously. They shut down last night. You know, like what I said to the owner. They only shut down the store. They only fired him because of public scrutiny. They knew it would happen. They know it would be public.
They didn't fire him. We know they didn't fire him. They moved him to another store. That'd be like...
that's what they claim they fired him. But if they were really behind it, they would have gave us their real name. They'd have gave us his real name. They gave us different names, you know what I'm saying? They hesitate to say any name. If you're behind this, you shut your business down. They're not going to shut down because they're not truly behind it. It's really a gap between us and them, and they try to make it seem like it's not just to get our money, just to get the black dollars that circulate. They know we spend over $1 billion a year in convenience stores, you know, and that's the African Americans. So they're making plenty of money throughout this country in different cities and different states. And a lot of them are together. So they're making money off of us, but then they want to exploit us even further. You know, like he said, their slave trade dates back well before the Europeans.
And still going on. And still going on.
When it comes to slavery, they are the masters of it. They've been doing that. They still do that. You know, they marry kids off at 14. It means nothing to them. It only means something to them because they're in this country. You know, if they were in their country, they wouldn't have a problem.
Now, because now part of the strategy is one also really taking a real look at how much money they produce in our community, because there's ways to find that out. Because there's other ways that we could get the politicians to also work on shutting these people down. Because, right, I mean, I don't know how soon an election is coming, but this the issue for me, right? We have to be able to organize stuff so that we can start getting some of our people some of their needs, because everybody don't go to those convenience stores, and we have to start trying to fill those business gaps, because if that means, because actually we might be able to build a serious movement off of this. All right, cool, you need to go to this store, what do you need? We'll buy the shit in bulk and we'll distribute it amongst the people.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because we got to really be creative with this, because some people, because they call them food deserts for a reason. They are able to set up in areas where people don't have the transportation to go nowhere else. That sister that came in there might have not, if she didn't look healthy, might have not been able to make it over to the next corner store. So what we might have to do is start with one and start running some of these dudes up out of here. Because really, you can't.
We got to buy back our community. We got to buy back the block.
See, but this the issue. It's not ours. It's not ours if somebody is providing the lifeblood and life fluid.
Right.
It's not ours. It's actually theirs and the people that we renting from. Once we start understanding that these blocks, we don't own them, it gives us a different perspective, and we can look at it from a real point. We're just occupied, and we're occupied. This is why you could go to that store and the police could roll up on you and kind of harass y'all to keep it moving, because y'all occupying space. You don't own nothing on that block. The police job
we
is
really don't even own the money. We don't own the money.
Right.
No, we don't own the money at all. Not even
that's why we have to. We have to invest. You know, we have everybody.
It's working. I see you, Sister Cynthia.
Okay, a lot of people in our culture, they want, you know, people they'll come on, they want to spend $50,000 on a necklace, and we could have bought a business for $50,000. You know, a lot of times people they get back $12,000 in tax money, and they'll be broke in a week or so. You know what I'm saying? Because they went through the money because they don't know how to put their money in the right place. If 10 people that got $12,000, just 10 people, $12,000, that's $120,000. We can open up 3 businesses right now, 3 people per business. You know, and that takes nothing. That's just 1 year to get it flowing. You know, we could take community college classes if we don't have education to learn business like they learn business. They go into business and because they know it.
They don't even know, dog. Think about this. They come over. See, because the piece is we don't believe that we are enough. We don't believe that we are enough. So of course we got to go outside, and if it makes us feel good to spend money with other people, we need to start going and learning how to work with each other. Because now the reality of it, and you know, because I hear y'all about that. But $120,000 is not enough money to start no 6 businesses. It's barely enough to start one successful business because you're going to need finances to keep the business moving. A real business. Like that store, they put a lot of money in that. And I never thought about that organ harvesting shit because you got a hell of a point, dog. You can open a store if you're able to get a kid a year.
Yeah, most definitely. Shit. But I mean, I understand what you're saying. But I mean, I know people with businesses, and they tell me they started their business with $30,000. That's where I get my numbers. You know, I'm not just saying that just off the top of the head. I'm saying like if people understand that it don't take as much money as you think to open a business. You know, get the business open. I understand people got to work and they got to make their money. You know, I'm not saying everyone can open a business. I'm saying if we open more businesses, we can generate. See, the thing is, a lot of people are scared to do it because we don't know about it. If we do our research and like I said, really take business class and learn how to produce business like the lady. Okay, there's people that start businesses from the ground up, and there's people that inherit. There's a lady, she inherited a private jet business. A black woman, she still get credit for it. Then there's another lady that started an alkaline water company from the bottom. You know, she get credit for it. It don't matter how you get it or how you started it. Just do the business, and we wouldn't have to worry about. I'm not saying we wouldn't have to worry about that, but we would have to worry less because the thing is, why?
I think we're getting a little too far down the line. A little too talking about business. We're getting too far down the line. First thing first is we need people to pay attention to what's going on.
Yeah, but that's one. Too. That's the thing about because you got to think.
That's the thing about what? I didn't hear what you said. That's the thing
about what I'm saying about businesses because with them they hire their own. It's not just because it's not they don't want to hire us. It's they don't want us to know what's going on. Is why they don't hire us.
Or they got cousins that need a job.
Okay, so
what are they hiding? I feel like they're hiding something. Why they only hire their race? You know,
we know that they hiding something. We know for a fact that they hiding something. Like that's the thing. We need to create our own secrets. We need to. Our first and primary and only agenda needs to be us. We need to stop thinking about the rest of these motherfuckers. We got the most important shit on the planet. We got melanin. We got black skin. We are melanated beings. We talk about organ harvesting. I don't know if this is true or not, so I don't want to sound like I'm just making shit up. But I hear that they sell melanin. I'm hearing that they extracting melanin out of selling that fucking melanin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like,
I heard the same thing. I mean, I know what you're saying because they feel like
the first step we got to do is to get our community paying attention to what's going on and understand the opportunity. Because what happened to your little sister is a crisis, but it's an
insult
example of a crisis, but it's an example of a larger crisis that's going on throughout all of our communities. But the thing of it is, and with it being highlighted like that, this is an opportunity, and we have to take advantage of this. We can't just let this opportunity get away from us.
Well, let Navita go ahead.
I just wanted to ask y'all because I was tuning in. I had to step out for a minute. I tuned in late, and I know you guys were talking about you guys went up to the store for 2 days. Y'all been up there?
Yeah, this is the second day.
Okay, so
actually 3.
So
wait, Sister Cynthia.
So it's actually been 3 because I didn't even know you guys had went up there. So, were you planning on? What was there a plan to go back? What was it? What exactly? Because I'm sorry, I'm like, so we are going back up there, and was it successful or?
Yeah, tonight wasn't successful. Yeah,
that was one of the reasons why I wanted to have Akeem on the show tonight, was so we could just, for one, to get the word out, use our platform to get the word out to more people, but also so we could start talking strategy, just have like a strategy kind of, obviously once we talk behind the scenes, we can get more in depth into the actual critical strategy part.
Right.
But just talking about what the strategy will even look like and who ultimately it is that we need to get paying attention. And I must keep stressing that the people that we need to get paying attention are the people in our community. We can't, the only way we're going to hold them accountable is if they start seeing we got to be down to be in this shit for 6 months, to a year, and beyond.
Exactly.
In 6 months, when they look at their bottom line and see that this 6 months since this happened, compared to the 6 months before it happened, that they lost $50,000. You see what I'm saying? Then they will start listening. You know what I mean? Then we got leverage. We can't. It's not possible to walk in there and then we don't have no leverage other than violence, really, which ain't leverage at all. To tell them that they got to shut down, because that's just why would they? You know what I mean? They're making money. They don't have no legal reasons why they will have to.
So when the people were people going in, were people spending in large numbers, or were people leaving?
People was coming in and out. Like I showed up a little. I came straight over there when I got off work, so people was coming in and out. I just got there and did a little Facebook Live. Probably as I was standing there, the good 15 people pulled up, and I spoke to most of them. And one person decided to change their mind and turn around and go to a different store, you know, because they didn't understand, because it was such a momentary thing. And the best, like with that, like the best bet for us, next step, the next time we shut down the store is probably at least a week from now, I would say, if not 2 weeks, to get momentum and to get 100 people. We can get 100 people to go to that store.
Oh, yeah, you can get 100 people. You just need to promote it. Promote it like you promote. We're going to a club, like
most definitely
with that type of vernacular. You know what I mean? And you put flyers out. And
one of the things. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was basically saying strategize and get people together, and put the word out, get people to share that just like they share the video.
Right.
Get people to understand that we really want action. We want
change.
We basically want to see something happen. We want it finished. We don't want them to continue to make money in a neighborhood that they don't care about, that they show they don't care about, where they try to harm our children. Anyone trying to harm our children, we have to defend them. But when it's the stores in our neighborhoods, we have to shut it down, because that's the only way we can defend them if they're not operating. So there's not going to be...
And if people are pulling up in cars, they can go somewhere else.
That's another story, exactly. There's not going to be it's not going to stop until they're shut down. I mean, like he said, if it take a year, I'm down for a year. If my little sister came up missing at the hands of this man, I will never stop looking for her. So I'm never going to stop until the store is shut down. I just can't. And we all got to really get... It's not just one person. It's not just 2 people. It's not just 10 people. It takes everyone to come together,
Sister Cynthia says that the dude is in Jersey, where they just came back from. Because like we already know they do interstate commerce. They transporting shit back and forth. And the piece and another piece that we have to do, this also gives us an opportunity to up our social media game. You know what I'm saying? Because the people aren't really doing flyers. Flyers will be helpful, but everybody got cell phones. We need to up the social media game and strategically start shutting these stores down, but be able to provide something for some of the people that want to work with us, because we might not. Let's say we only stop 10 customers. Say I ain't never going back to that damn store again. Because some elders that if they see young people activated, over there say, baby, I don't want to go to that store again, but I gotta get some goddamn food. Like I said,
ain't nobody buying no food from them corner stores.
But the
they
issue,
ain't buying no food from them damn stores. You got to stop.
They buying shit. They buying snacks. They buying shells.
Right.
They buying quick shit.
But some people,
and that's the challenge. That's the challenge that we have to take on.
See, because one of the things that one of the things we did back in the past was we did a survey of a certain neighborhood. I don't know. Was you with us when we did that, Quasi? I think you were.
That's how I ended up getting on with the League of Young Voters.
We need to find out what are some of the needs in that community so that we can start filling some of those needs. Because people will really show you where they at. Like, for example, if I can provide you with something, because like we know a lot of people in these neighborhoods don't have cars. This is why they call our area food deserts. They don't have transportation. A lot of us got transportation, but everybody in the neighborhood ain't got no goddamn car. Some people live off them corner stores. That's why they be having that old ass meat up in there, and you be like, who be buying this shit? Somebody buying that
That's
shit.
why the shit is old, because don't nobody buy the shit, because no one is really going in there buying that kind of shit.
Nobody buying it.
No one's buying that kind of shit.
If they wouldn't, nobody is buying it. Why would they keep it?
Expired and shit.
That's what
no
I'm
one's
saying.
Going in there and buy. So, let me tell you something. The
so
only
they making all their money off
because they have to in order to keep food stamps.
Yep.
All right, so if y'all believe nobody buying them, I would say I'd say do a motherfucking survey and see. We don't know. We guess. I don't have any evidence. You're right. You could be right.
It's a few people buying, but it's not nobody that were. I mean, it's not nobody would miss it if they weren't there. If nobody won't miss it, so they sell in corner stores like they'll start their shelves because they start their shelves where Walmart start their shelves for a week. They start their shelves for 6 months. You know, they know that stuff's gonna take 6 months to sell, so they gonna buy it anyway. Either way, you know, they got a lot of stuff going on, and they got a lot of secrets going on that they don't want us to know about.
Well, I would disagree.
We know how they do business. We know how they do business. I mean, you know, growing up there, you know they buy stuff from Kroger and all that, and we don't care about none of that. We know y'all buying it for $1 and selling and making $20 off of the dollar y'all spending on food stamps. We know that, but that we never had a problem with that. We got a problem when y'all do, you know, start other stuff. You know, I mean, we have a problem with some things they do. You know, a lot of times people will get into it with a store clerk or whatever in the corner stores, but it's bigger than that now. You know, when it comes to our children, that's where the real problem is. You know, and that's really what the focus is also. When it comes to our children,
then like the brother said, people were pulling up in their cars, and that means that they got the ability to pull up
to go to another store
else.
Yeah, the thing of it is, Black, you scared them. They scared, bro. Like they really they took you serious because them same dudes. If it would have just been somebody, for one, you made that first video, and they know that it was momentum, and it was enough momentum for people to come out and shut their fucking store down. Yeah. That shit fucked them up. I mean, I'm sure you do realize how much that shit, like that meant something to them. They realized that.
And I'm proud of us. And I'm proud of us for that. You know, and I meant to tell you that proud of us that we all really came together and did that. It was just a small, like you said, 120 people. We shut them down for the night. If we all get together, we can shut them down forever, man. What? And any other one that think they could do that to do anything to our children or any of us.
You shut down one. You need to shut them all down.
You know, and the thing about it is, I see black people seem to be more outraged about that damn R. Kelly than the shit that's happening right in their neighborhood.
Right. And they know it's a lot of energy right now. They know it's a lot of energy. People is amped. Like, people is amped. Let me ask you something, Black.
Y'all want to know why? Y'all want to know why, for real?
Go ahead.
And I don't want y'all hating me.
Lady J, you do your thing. Say your shit. Stop starting it off with that.
Stop prefacing your shit and get to it.
No, I don't want y'all hating me, but the reason why is because people know they do the same shit in the community. They doing the same shit, propositioning young girls. They know what happens in their family. They know what happens in their community. So
you're
right. You damn right.
Yeah, most definitely.
And that's what you got to deal with too.
Yeah, I know a lot of people deal with that. Like, you know, a lot of women, they let stuff go on with from their boyfriends to their daughters, and they won't do nothing about it. So you definitely right. A lot of people don't want to.
I mean, that does happen.
Yeah, they don't want to bring light to a situation.
There's a lot of them that don't do it too. There's a lot that do it. It's still, to me, there's a lot that don't, and we need to concentrate on the people that are on our page. So
that's
we can
another
get
opportunity.
That's
another
I
opportunity.
understand that too. I agree with that too. But I also, you know, I think that we always start in our home and then we go out to our neighborhood and then it gets just to trickle out. But I think that a lot of times, one thing, and again, I don't want anyone upset with me, but I prefer to someone else that does us to do us at home. When we do it to ourselves, it's like we're quiet. Like we're like a silent riot. We're not really speaking up when we do it amongst ourselves. And let somebody else do something to us, and we're ready to band together. And that's the only thing that really that hurts my soul.
Now, but hold on.
That's how it's gonna unfold. Look, listen real quick. That's how it's gonna unfold. It's going to unfold with, as we begin to stand up and begin to call, we basically drawing a line in the sand and saying either you on this side and you on that side. And I'm talking about black people in our community. Either you with us or you with them.
You against us.
Exactly. If you with us, then that means you can't spend your money at these stores no more. And if you are willing to spend your money at these stores, then that means that you ain't worth shit. That means that you out here wanting to just get drunk out of your mind. You want to just get high and smoke fucking cigarettes, and you want to just let that shit control you. And I'm not knocking nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not acting like I don't participate in my own righteousness. But the thing of it is if I let that shit control me, then I'm no good to my community. So if people, we got to associate that type of behavior with, you might potentially be a fucking pedophile. You might potentially abduct somebody's kids because all you can think about is your next fix. And you're so worried about your next fix that you're not even thinking about the consequences of who it's affecting. So that means you might be a motherfucking, you the enemy. So that's how we create that situation. Like, who's you on?
Now, now you saying
a point that should be made, and a point that should be made is that the scariest part, like the people that share the video, a lot of people share, a lot of people feel it, you know. But the scariest part to me about it is that you can only imagine the different things he could have did with the opportunity. You know, it could have been, she could have went with him and something went wrong. He did something to her, you know, not even with the intention to do something. You know, you already have the intention to do something bad, so your intention to do something bad are already there, so it's going to keep snowballing. It's a snowball effect. If one thing goes wrong, you already have that intention, so you can't make good on that. You can't do anything to make good.
Now, one of the things I want to stress is now, because we do have certain things that we need to solve in our community, and things like this allow us to really start seeing who on the team, who not on the team, who on the tribe, who not on the tribe. But we got to make sure that people understand, you know. So when in the advertising, we got to do it like that. If we're gonna do it like that, you on this side, you on that side. Last piece. The one little difference, because I agree with what Lady J is saying 100%. The one difference that I want us to take in account of is this: that these motherfuckers are visitors in our area. So and one of the issues that people are able to do and have been able to do to black people all throughout our American sojourn is, and I ain't even gonna say that because there was a certain segment of brothers and elders that would not allow this shit. But if we have to develop the ability to reward our friends and punish our enemies. You are on a visitor pass in our community, and this is a whole nother piece, and this is where some people might get frustrated. Because Hajim might have moved, like she said, to New Jersey. It's like you look at all of these motherfuckers in all of our neighborhoods. All of them are connected. So the issue is if we're going to go after one, because it's like me firing my brother. I'm not firing my brother because he tried to get with one of your women that I don't even believe is human.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So if we're talking about doing this for real, we got to understand that the battle plan has to be bigger than just that one right there. That could be the first one. But we need to get all these motherfuckers up out our community and as you say, if y'all got the know-how, start business, start our own corner stores. Because at one point in time, I'm old enough to remember when the corner stores were ours. And I remember when we started selling them to Habib and shit.
And I want to let the sisters... Yeah, go ahead.
This is what I want to say. I recall several years ago, I believe it was 2010, when it all began with the police brutality, and we began watching the trend on social media, watching it on RCNBC. And one thing that I was sure of, and two things I was certain of, was that the people were, we had entered, that's when I first started my whole saying where I say we are in the midst of the Great Awakening. I've been saying it that long. We are in the midst of the Great Awakening. And I just believed that my people were going to wake up and that my people were going to understand that if they wanted change, they had to keep it in their pocket. But what happened is, all too quickly, we forgot. We quickly forget what the agenda is. We quickly forget who our common enemy is. And things kind of go back to the way that they were. And so with that being said, one thing that I just really believe in my heart, and with me saying that, is that one thing I thought that was going to happen was that we were going to be so outraged with how people were treating us from the outside that we would treat each other better.
No,
right? That we would be angry with the way that they were gunning us down, chasing us down, assaulting us, taking away our civil liberties. That we will begin to treat each other better, right? We will be able to treat our brethren better, but that never happened. In my community, it never happened. We continue to bury people for senseless crime. People continue to rob and kill people for less, right? And so when I hear and I see what is going on now with this story, all I want to say is, at some point, I acknowledge and I appreciate that the fact that we are able to identify our common enemy. I appreciate the fact that we will stand up against them. But what I really want us to do is stand up against those people in our community that look like us, that do the same shit to tear us down. I want us to stand up against,
Now, I hear you. But
that's where I want us to start.
Hold on. Now, so you that's sort of like when we address the police violence, a motherfucker coming to conversation. Well, what about black on black crime? Nigga, we talking about you know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like you're taking the focus somewhere else, and it's not to a bad place. It's something real. And the only thing I can guarantee is, like, for example, in The Godfather, in the very first one, real short, when they had the conference and they was talking about bringing dope into the game, and Don Corleone said no, because it's gonna fuck up the game, but if y'all want it, I'll bring it in. And they looked at one dude and he said, this was part 3. Can you guarantee that your people are not selling dope? He said, I can't guarantee that they're not selling dope, but I can guarantee you that if I catch them, I will kill them. Now, I can't control what goes on directly inside of the so-called community, because the one piece that we are illusionary about is that we exist in a goddamn community. I would love it, but we know we don't. Nigga, you're renting from somebody that lives on the west side and buying shit from somebody from the Middle East. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. But what I can guarantee is that I can guarantee the behaviors of those that are in my tribe, and I can take responsibility for that. The rest of them, I can't take responsibility for, and I'm not even going to try to control them.
We have to concentrate on the ones that are on our side. And
I can't guarantee that they won't do it in the black community, but I can guarantee I'll handle the ones that do it with me. You understand what I'm saying?
I do want to point out, any woman who has a daughter who lives in the hood, who grew up in the hood knows what happens when they go in the corner store. I'm 37 years old, about to be 38. Those men in the behaviors that happen, it's the same behavior that was happening when I grew up on Cleveland Avenue. When I grew up on Cleveland Avenue.
Because there's no consequences.
I remember being 13 years old, being able to go into a corner store and buy alcoholic beverages.
And then when let's put a stop to that, let's make a stand.
And this is so that's on us mothers as well.
Not only, but hold on.
That's on us too.
No,
what I'm saying is,
listen here.
Go ahead.
Listen here. We should be able to send. I guess you're right. It is on the mothers too, because they keep sending them back if they have other places they could go.
But they don't know they getting that shit.
And we know that happens. We know.
But my thing is,
you see what I'm saying?
Right, because
what we're going to do is concentrate on
what we can control.
What is the person at that store who is perpetuating this activity? We can concentrate on that and what we are going to do to stop that.
Do we have a picture?
Now, there's still people that may go on in our community, and we still have mothers or fathers or whomever to send their children to the store. Still, that's a whole nother issue. But let's concentrate on this one right here. And then if you can also multitask with that. So we got to concentrate on this.
I say this at the risk of scaring the shit out of people. But problems fix themselves with correct behavior. When you start doing what the fuck you're supposed to do, then the shit that you're not supposed to do just doesn't have room to happen no more. You know what I mean? So it starts with me fixing my shit, and then it starts with you fixing your shit, and then it starts with you, everybody in this line fixing their shit. And then we can collectively fix our shit. And then I think it's 5 people on the line, just hypothetically. Once the 5 of us fix our shit enough to where we can take it out beyond us. And that's if we not courageous enough to find and at least be honest about our flaws, and then still support each other, and still, even if we got some fucked up skeletons in the closet, to still believe in each other. The 5 people on this phone, hypothetically. The 5 people on this phone. If we can't expose ourselves to each other and still trust each other that we in this fight together and that we can move together regardless of how we done fucked up in the past, because we all got some skeletons in the closet. You know what I mean?
Now, I'm gonna say this. Can I say this?
We can't trust each other enough to move forward to hold other people accountable, because we have to hold our community accountable. Once again, the only way that store is ever gonna get shut down is if 100 people show up on a regular basis and stop everybody from coming in there. And the only way we're going to be able to do that is if we consistent. And the only way we're going to be consistent is if we fuck with each other consistently.
Now, I want to say this. I get that from Lady J. I want to say this. I want to celebrate the young girl who might have broke normal behavior and did what this dude asked her not to do. Because really, we wouldn't be having this conversation, because like Lady J brought up something that hit me. That this is normal behavior in these stores. She said, my daughter don't go in them goddamn stores, and she bet not now, especially, I get my bride price back or they get married. But there is, we know these behaviors, and the ladies know these behaviors go on. Now you're letting the brothers know. And because maybe one way to attack this is, because we got artists in the circle. Maybe one way to attack this is possibly talk to some of the sisters in the neighborhood that might have stories that happen in that goddamn store. And maybe we could blow the top off of this whole goddamn thing. You understand what I'm saying? Because if motherfuckers start, if brothers start realizing that every time one of our little sisters go into this place, it could be your cousin, it could be your mama, it could be your sister, that these motherfuckers are disrespecting. You know why? Because we have not been able to reward our friends and punish our enemies. Anybody that disrespects your women have no respect for you and have no fear for you.
None.
I like how you keep saying that and it keep being relevant.
What?
I want you to finish what you're saying, but I also want you, when you finish, can you please, so we can be consistent in doing what we do, I don't think that you did the folktale yet.
This is going to fit. This is going to fit so cold, because I was thinking about dropping it in. So here's the folktale for the night. It is called The Two Travelers. It's called The Travelers, and the Plane Tree. Two travelers worn out by the heat of the summer sun, laid themselves down at noon under the wide spreading branches of a plane tree. As they rested under its shade, one of the travelers said to the other, "What a singularly useless tree is the plane. It bears no fruit, and it is not of the least service to man." The plane tree interrupted him, said, "You ungrateful bastard. You ungrateful store owner. You ungrateful Arab. You ungrateful racist bastard. You ungrateful politician. Do you, while receiving benefits from me and resting under my shade, dare to describe me as useless and unprofitable?" The moral of the story says some men underrate their best blessing. God damn it, if that don't fit.
Say the moral again.
The moral says some men underrate their best blessing. I got other morals, because I posted up the link, because what I'm gonna start doing as we start building up the media empire, because I'm telling y'all right now, one way to blow the whole top off this motherfucker is to start actually getting sisters talking about some of the shit that happened in these stores, so that every time a black man walk in one of these stores, he knows that he's participating and paying for somebody to disrespect his mama, to disrespect his sister, to disrespect his daughter.
We disrespect our kids. We paying from we giving them the opportunity and the resources to do us wrong and to feed their family, because their family is being treated good, their family living good. Their children, they don't have to worry about going to the stores being harassed because they know better. They won't do that to their own kids.
You know what they would do to us?
They don't do that to white kids. I wasn't being racist. It's just that they're scared to do it to a white kid because they feel like a white kid has someone to tell.
Not only do they have someone to tell,
I want to ask you a question.
They do that to their kids.
Let me ask. I want to ask our guest a question. Can I ask our guest a question? An important question, a real important question. I want to ask to our guest. Black. I wanted to ask you this, but I knew it was sensitive, and Hatim just kind of opened the door for me to ask. How comfortable would you be with your little sister coming in and publicly telling her story? Because I mean, it's one thing to hear you say it, but then to hear the voice of a young lady, that blows the whole shit open at a different level, man. How you feel about that?
I mean, I won't have a problem with it, but that would be on her mother. Like, that's my wife's sister. It's not my actual blood sister, but I've been around since she was 2 years old. That's why they call me, because I'm the one who's always there for everyone when they need it. You know, I'm the one who's going. Like I said, they got an older brother that's like a year older than us, you know, and they got a dad, you know what I'm saying? But they call me because I'm the one that's going to come to protect them. But it's not up to me for her to do an interview. That'd be up to her sister and her mom. You know, I wouldn't be objective to it, but you know, that'd be up to
You got to get permission.
Or Black. Even if they did a video.
Not only a video of her, we already got Lady J that says that when she was young, the shit was going on. So I know some they said something to you. Navita, I know that when you walked in the store, when the motherfucker said some shit inappropriate to you. We don't have to bring the young girl on. We got enough full-grown ass women who have been in these stores and have experienced this shit from these motherfuckers that we could use. And any mothers who would confess this shit might want to hear what their daughters got to say, because now they don't, you know what I'm saying, because the titties ain't perky no more. You understand what I'm saying?
As far as the store, this particular location is concerned.
I'm not, see, y'all, listen, I'm on some media shit. I'm on some media mogul shit. I'm not trying to shut down that motherfucking store, because I know that they won't do nothing but shut down and move to another neighborhood. I know these motherfuckers is international and national. Motherfuckers need to be made aware of how they believe they can treat us. I want to reward my friends. I want to destroy my enemies. You know why? Because I got two little girls over here. And matter of fact, I could actually probably call one of my daughters right now, and she could tell me some of the inappropriate shit that one of these motherfuckers said to her when she was 14 years old. We need to start putting that shit.
I like to do. I like to connect things. I like to connect things. So to connect.
I'm gonna hang up.
I'll say it again.
To connect what Hatem and Black is both of y'all saying. Like, on one hand, Hatem, you said you're not really that much interested in shutting down the store, but Black, you said you want to shut down the store. Well, both of y'all are saying, like, on one hand, the energy, the movement that it would take to actually shut down that store, I'm interested in that. If we got enough people to do that, then that means that we really out here doing some shit. So not only that store getting shut down, but also creating a type of movement that it would take to get that shit shut down.
Now, I'm not against that.
Targeting the youth in them stores. If y'all could remember, I guarantee y'all been through it too. I remember going on the store, giving them my money and them not giving my correct change back because they knew they could do that, because they feel like we're not smart enough to calculate it ourselves.
And that happened at all of them.
Yeah, they feel like we weren't educated enough to calculate ourselves. If we was to speak up for ourselves, they're going to just say that we were wrong. Because it wasn't just one store; it's multiple stores that used to do that to me. In school, I always had A's in math. I always did. I'm real good at math. Like, people be surprised how good I am at math. So I always calculated my stuff, and I always had to argue with them about it. So like I said, it's not just what they doing to the girls. That's the main thing. But I'm saying it didn't start with that. They started smaller to manipulate us, so they could manipulate us on a larger scale. They figured they could get away with one thing, then they could get away with more.
And I want to be clear. I'm not talking about not closing the store, but what I'm saying is, what we hit on is something that not only affects that little sister at that store. We know that everywhere that these stores exist, everywhere. You know what I'm saying? That these dudes are very disrespectful. They don't respect our culture. They don't respect us. You know what I'm saying? And we know this. We know this.
And that's why we know they don't be quick. Now, and they don't. But where I stop short at is with these young girls. Personally, I would like to concentrate on what we can do. And anybody can call me if I need any help from me, if I need to put anything out there to try to keep the momentum going on this one store. Yes, they can do that. I'll work on the other else, but guess what? You got the fuck out of here, though. How about that? So that's how I feel about it. You know what I'm saying? And so if anybody is, on that and they need my help in any way, then you contact me, because we could do that. And I feel like if we could get just one, and get numbers, then there's a next one. That's why we go to the next one. That's why we go to the next one.
That's why we have to shut down that store, because we have to set example. If they're not shut down, they might make it seem like it's okay for other stores to do it. That's true. And which they are doing. So, but after a while, like right now, they won't do it. I guarantee. Most stores in the city are aware, so they probably not talking to the little girls. But if that store don't get shut down, by the summertime they'll be back at the same shit. So we have to get them shut down now.
And this is my thing. Even if they get shut down in other stores or on it, and they still may be doing that shit. But guess what? That motherfucker ain't doing that shit right there. No motherfucker more.
Exactly, and people
that's how I
feel
feel about it.
And they gonna and you know if it stops a lot and it brings back just one, you know, that's more than enough, because it wasn't that without that, you know, we want to bring none of them. There's really a lot going on. You know, we really should get together. Like, I mean, aside from the phone call, we should really get together in person and talk and come up with a plan to figure out how we can get things moving in the right direction, so we could make an impact. Well, I know y'all already do what y'all do, you know, to make an impact. I want to be on board with y'all, you know. So whatever y'all need from me, just let me know, and I'm down.
All right, I say I'm going on the 2-pronged shit, because I got to beef with all of them, because this happened in one.
That's not saying I don't have a beef with all of them.
I'm not trying to argue. I'm really not. Because I'm with both.
But I didn't even know that was an argument. I'm just.
Can I say something real quick?
I have a beef with all of them. But right now, this is an instance that happened with this brother on the phone and his his niece, and I would like to concentrate on doing something at that particular location if we can. And, you know, that doesn't mean that I'm negating all the other ones where things happen.
Nobody said that.
But I would like to try to concentrate on, I didn't say you said that. I'm just saying I still feel the same way about the other ones. And I would like to, but I do want to concentrate on trying to do something, if possible, with this location right here, and then maybe it can grow into something more, but maybe it can't. But you know, I would like to try.
All right, family, I want to do this. Those that's listening to me, that might tune in later or whatever, ladies or brothers, like, because brother just gave a testimony, because I never even thought about them sneak dissing us with the change and shit. Why don't you make a small video of how you been treated at one of these stores that's run by these Arabs in our motherfucking community, and send it in to us at Giami Journey, and I'll cut that shit up real nice and put that shit on Facebook, because I want motherfuckers to know that this ain't just a problem here. I know it's a problem nationwide. So that's all I'm saying. We gonna shut these motherfuckers down, because, like I said, now also it's gonna require some political involvement, which, thank God, it's almost election season any goddamn way. I'm gonna get some of these motherfuckers out of here. You know what I'm saying? Because I know they selling singles. Hey,
it's Black History Month too, you know, so we gotta do it. We do it in the month that he gave to us, which is, it's always Black History. It's Black History Day every day, but I'm saying this is a month designated for us. You know, let's get them shut down this month.
Miss Cynthia says she willing to share her stories about that store. I'm talking about all of them. You know what I'm saying?
All stores, yeah. All of them. Has like the Me Too thing, but you know, we do different videos and shit, put them out about the stores, and we could organize, like, okay, we meeting at this store, and once this one's done, we going to this one, that we are the most problematic in our community.
Hashtag move to white neighborhoods.
You
could, you know, like you said, the single cigarette thing, you know, that's against the law, period.
Yeah, and not even just that. When they say they only hire their kind because of their preference, that's against the law right there. So just by that, they should be investigated, because we got that on video.
You know what? But listen, I'm like this. I understand that shit. Now, we can press that. But I want you to understand, family, that's one of the problems with us. We're the only universal people. Everybody else is like, I'm hiring my cousin. Yeah. I don't know your black ass.
Let me tell you, because I work in the convenience store industry. Let me tell you something. That single cigarette shit, government want their motherfucking money. They don't like that shit. They don't like that single cigarette shit. And they can get shut the fuck down over that single cigarette shit. They can lose their license over that single cigarette shit.
So you gotta have a license to sell cigarettes? I was wondering that. I know you gotta have alcohol.
Yeah.
Have a tobacco license.
You have to have a license.
And you're not allowed to sell the motherfucking
The fine is egregious. The fine
It's off the hook. I work in that industry.
Yes, it is. There's a store. A lot of times, if you look, especially on the east side, there have been a number of stores that have been closed down due to being. I'm sorry, I was having. Due to being nuisance. And so, and a big part of that was the fines that they received. So when you see these stores close down and open back up with
new owners,
names, it's probably a lot of times because they've been caught selling single cigarettes. But one thing I wanted to point out, I think it's that the issue with the treatment of women by Arabs and in these stores. It is an issue. It is a problem. But again, my thing is when I said I was treated that way by Arabs, I was also treated that way by older men. And so I'm just throwing that out there. The next thing is my problem with them is that they operate in our community. They don't give anything into our community. Like you said, they don't buy anything. They don't support any of our initiatives or anything like that. But we have a bigger problem. I mean, we have a major problem with them. And it's not just the treatment. It's that they should not be in our community. We should have infrastructure. So we should own the convenience mart. We should have them. They should be investing in our community, in our schools, and they're not. So
we used to own those, baby. The question we need to ask is what happened.
All level. We can't prove it. We don't have evidence at hard evidence. We know that these things go on. We don't have hard evidence that all of them do the same thing. Or what we do know is that point blank, they shouldn't be operating in our community.
They
shouldn't be operating in our community.
That's part of the point. All right, family, listen. So I read the story. We ain't really get a chance to go in depth on the story, but I'm gonna shut it down because it's 10:30. I gotta get up and do my thing, and I gotta do the toasting in the morning. But I'm gonna be going. I'm going off because I'm like now they all on my radar. You know what I'm saying? Now they all on my radar. Even some of the Indian stores. So y'all all better watch the fuck out. And then on top of that, go ahead.
I'm gonna drop my number in your inbox. He got my number already. You know what I'm saying? But you don't got it.
He gonna arrange the hookup. Quasi gonna arrange the hookup. So hook up. Talk with Quasi. He gonna arrange the hookup, and I'll be there.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Most definitely. Make sure everybody else comes. But we gonna definitely get it together.
Yes, sir. All right, family. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Now, although we didn't directly deal with the folktale, we directly dealt with the folktale in an action way because people are coming into our neighborhood and being like, "Y'all such an unspectacular people. You don't bear no fruit," and they're basking in the shadow as we protect them from the sun. And we got to be sure that we have to stand up and start checking motherfuckers. We got to check politicians. We got to check business owners in our communities because they're living off of us, and we need to start making sure that they understand that shit. So, family, listen to me. What we are going to do, this discussion is not done because these proverbs or these folktales are for the weak. So go and listen to the proverb. I read it. I'm going to read it one last time. Listen to the proverb. Feel free to leave your quote on there. Also, I'm challenging brothers and sisters that have been cheated at these stores, brothers, sisters, and brothers who have been propositioned in these stores in an improper way. I want to hear your story. Post it up so we can start letting people know that we need to go to some other, you know what I'm saying? Let's take our business elsewhere. Matter of fact, let's bring our business home. So here go the proverb, and I'm folktale, I'm done.
Another meeting of
2 travelers worn out by the heat of the summer sun laid themselves down at noon under the wide-spreading branches of a plane tree. As they rested under its shade, one of the travelers said to the other, "What a singularly useless tree is the plane tree. It bears no fruit and is not of the least service to man." The plane tree interrupted him, said, "You ungrateful fellows, do you, while receiving benefits from me and resting under my shade, dare to describe me as useless and unprofitable. And the moral is, some men underrate their best blessings. Family, for many communities, we are the best blessing that they have ever had. And they are poisoning us. They are abusing us. They're disrespecting our women folk. They're disrespecting the men, intelligence. They're threatening us. So there's so many different ways you can approach this. Take some time, write something down on the thing, and I'll get back with you. But for right now, I will see you in the morning. Peace.
All right, peace.
All right, Facebook, I'm out.